wasted on you because we fell out with a nonsense in the country. Yeah, you say I can rescue you, they want to kill or slow there. That kill there. So security, they kill my police, they kill me around with selling police, they kill no get all awareness. For now until the 7, they want to see you on the street. That's it, but you don't get nobody job facility. And that on the street, that people from the federal office they can come by our son. And what people making in it, yeah. And that blessing will not belonging in market. That along the street, and that market or say woman in a general market. Say la was phone all over the world, the great America, they sat on the street. Africa, they sat on the street. That they la what can improve that they want to suppress up on the street.
Get bring her to go see to the main store.
Oh, so the man wanted for you to go steal from the web post store.
Yeah. He said I'm joining to go see to the web main store to they get money into the store there, we'll go take it from there. I said, Mama, how many bars for the same leisure?
And how can the people catch you now?
The people before the man call me back. Now on the 18th, they more.
The same man now.
Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go steal.
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now in the around about 8:30, the man called me. He said, "Oh, my man, I'll let you be there and call you back again."
So that time you go to where?
I go to where?
You live for your working place, you come to the man.
Yeah, I'm from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now?
No, I'm not go steal. I go to yeah. How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I say.
When they call you in the net now.
When the man call me in the net, he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
You told the man, say, you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
the man said, he want to give you what tea?
Tea. Have milk tea.
Oh, milk tea?
Yeah.
For you to drink?
With bread.
The bread?
3 pieces of fruit bread.
With egg inside?
With egg inside, my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say, carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food man give you now, you carry now, so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say, thank you. I say, okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right car. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now?
Yeah, the same man.
The man tell you say, he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say, clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In the Jeep?
In the Jeep. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep?
Yeah. Black BG, photo G. Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside.
No, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the water now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people like you can't hear.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, you say when I move from here, I'll free. You say when I move from here, I'll free. You said one talk again. I wanted to mean it. Who talk clear to you, but you talk in the question. Hi, not looking. Hi, you looking. Hi, looking. Then you want force another more word there again. Why not belonging to the talk? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office. I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come to get fair. You say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I will not fair.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's me things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. That's why I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then you.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. That's why I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say I can take time
to explain. Yeah, okay.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor.
When you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices. Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries. But there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence, 30 years, prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brenda Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and now prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as chief prosecutor for a short time with experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at large for war crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us. The people last us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. Oh yes, and I know. As you set yourself, prepare yourself. The government betray us. The song places you in a more motivating mood as it introduces and closes Freedom Hard Talk. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the environment looks like in your respective areas. Let me welcome all of you to this edition of the show. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight on the 10th day of February 2025. Just few hours to another national holiday. Somebody says another national meaningless holiday. Well, the president will not be or may not be allowed again to inspect the truth People fool us, the people lie to us. of the military.
The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can
But whatever the case is,
want to trust.
it's good to have all of you joining us tonight. Too many things in the news, too many individuals in the news.
At the schools, where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish.
But we are attracted
People tell you
to good governance
the
issues.
reason why we ask
And so tonight,
betray. They have
we are interested in the invite, is the suspension of the head of NOCA
hunger
and the subsequent invite by the LACC,
to the nation. They poor.
which saw her appearance today
Show
in the very vehicle that she is being asked to turn over to the government until her investigation was over. Not just that,
the government betray us. I said they lie.
as part of the U.S. government austerity measures to cut costs
The people
and save more money to be spent in the U.S.,
they can lie, they can steal, they can not to corrupt the effort.
promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in thee, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you lie?
I need this break urgently. Let me take this break.
That's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little abuse us. So why? The government you lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us.
So yes, I was saying as part of the U.S. government austerity measures to cut costs and save monies to be spent in the American people country, the Department of Government Efficiency has announced a $17 million US project, has announced the cancellation of a $17 million project to provide tax policy advice to Liberia. So yes, government said we were spending at least $17 million US
We tired with the promises.
just for the provision of tax advice to the Liberian government. We are canceling that money. We are no more spending that money.
So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? We just tell you. That why we
Do you also know that your government has increased taxes? Your government has increased tax.
So why?
On GST
Why?
from 10% to 12%, and the government is also proposing a 15% increment in 2026. And not just that, that the government is graduating or gravitating from GST to value-added tax.
The people fool us. The people laugh.
What does that mean for you, the consumers? It's something that must interest you. How is it going to affect you? How are you going to benefit from tax increase and the government graduating or transitioning from a GST tax regime to a VAT tax regime? These conversations are very important for all of you to understand.
What the government betray? They have enough of time, but yeah, instead they delay. People suffer.
The government is saying, let's pay more money. Let's pay more money to those people who are extracting and exporting our resources, our raw materials from the country.
Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie.
Let's pay them for what they spend. Let's pay them 10%, 15% for what they spend to export your raw materials.
The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
So His Excellency former President George Weah is in
the government betray us.
the Republic of Congo, along with some members of his delegation. We hope to speak to Abraham Gosson William very shortly. So we'll talk to AB, and AB will provide us update on the essence of the trip and the progress that is being made there in Brazzaville.
With the promises.
President Weah is obviously a guest, an official guest to the Congolese president.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us.
And his name is President Denis Sassou Nguesso. He is the president of the Republic of Congo. And so very shortly, don't forget, this show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia of Omen Samsaya. And it is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Liberia. Very shortly, we'll take a break from Crime Stopper Liberia. And don't forget, I'm sure you are already aware, tonight's payout is 4,000 Liberian dollars. If you spend $100, you stand a chance of winning $4,000. But if you spend more than $100 to play as many times as possible, you stand a far better chance to walk away with 4,000 Liberian dollars tonight. So whatever the case is, just make sure you have at least 100 Liberian dollars in your mobile money account, or its equivalent in US dollars, which is 70 cents. And that *799 hash, you send and you reply, select 11 for Freedom FM and send. And then you either select option number 1 if you want to play in US dollars, or you select option number 2 if you want to play in Liberian dollars. Whichever option you select, you send and you enter your mobile money password. If you are a mobile money subscriber, it means you know how to navigate your way through using mobile money. And so all you need to know is the short code to play our cash giveaway. And that short code is *799 hash. You send and you select option number 11 for Freedom FM and send, and follow the rest of the instructions. My name is Austin Kawa. I'm here up to 10 o'clock tonight. Let's take a break from our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia. When we come back, we welcome all of you who've joined us tonight on the show. This is the only political fellowship that is on radio at about this time. This break.
It's about music. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, and I mean you cheche, you wait for your safety. If you see a don't keep it, you must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, thank you very much, OMSM Science, Crime Stopper Liberia. Thank you so much. Let's welcome all of you who join us tonight, beginning with Progress Orita Johnson. Kato Kabato is also joining us tonight from Omega. Otto is joining us from New Georgia. Domo Love Domo is joining us from Johnsonville. CDC Pape Success Keita for Life is joining us tonight. Kelvin Soko from the US. Eric Lagui is joining us tonight. Shelton is also following tonight. Shelton is following tonight from Barnesville, Quebec. Doris Cooper Pupo is also following us tonight. Doris, welcome to the show. Emmanuel Bro is joining us tonight from the US. Abu Bakr Sharif, Mawata Belete are all following. Johnson Dolly, Christopher Bernard are joining us tonight from New Jersey and Margibi County, respectively. Stanley Sharif from the nation's capital. He says Broville City, outside the nation's capital. Matthew Ndole is joining us tonight from Babulu County. Yes, Eric from Clarendon. Asata Miller is joining us tonight from Soul Clinic. Stennis Sharif is also following tonight. Moses Haynes, is joining us from Chugbo Road in Tinker. Ralph Cooper is joining us from the U.S. Venetia's Junior Bar is also following. Peter Jala from Kakata City. Henry Dubon Hill is joining us tonight. Liba Conte is following from Pinsville. Mary Tule is joining us from New Georgia Estate. Sidiki Toure is also following. Testimony Janje Gise is joining us tonight from Fendale. Daniel Tower is following from New Georgia. Otello Chape is joining us tonight from Denver. In the U.S., Councillor Sewine is joining us tonight from Margibi. Welcome, Councillor. Daxi Ducle is joining us from somewhere. Saturday, Wonderware is following us from the U.S. Moses Lake from Kakata, Richard Flomo from Grand Bassa. All of you who've joined us tonight, we'd like to say thanks to all of you from for joining us. Comfort Cooper from Staten Island. Leo Pico is joining us from 17th Street. Sylvester Sion is joining us from Pennsylvania tonight. Melvin Mustafa from Grand Cape Mount. Magio Begiri is joining us tonight from Vanjaman City in Lufa County. Is it real? Okay, he's watching us tonight from Bassi Quarter, Vanjaman City, Lufa County. Okay, and then Bangadi Dolly is joining us tonight from Abidjan. Abidjan, that's my second city. Okay, so let's say thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. Let's move into our discussion. But first, let's set the pace by talking to A.B. Gosson Whale, who is in Brazzaville, traveling along with former President George Manuel Weah as a guest to President Denis Sassou Nguesso. So let's talk to A.B. Way, and then we move into our discussion on those are the governance and tax issue and corruption issue and all of that. A.B. is in transit, so let's hope we can get him quickly before he leaves where he is. When these guys are traveling with people, you're traveling with EFVRPs, you don't have your own protocol, you don't control your own protocol. They control your protocol. When they move, you move. When they sit, you sit. At times when they sit inside, you can't sit. You have to stand. You have to be standing because they go stand at any time. And so he said, yes, we have to talk. We have to talk before I leave from here. So let's start the show with him before he leaves from where they are. There are a lot of different protocols that the president is going to be subjected to, and as member of his delegation, obviously you fall within the protocol of the president. Okay. I hope. Okay, let me end the call. I see it's not ringing. It's not ringing. Let me try this again. I hope this is not what I'm thinking. I hope this is not. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. So I think you have to run quick and do the needful. I hope that I eat at all. Hope this is not internet issue. Let me switch. Okay, so I think I have to switch. Let me switch the stuff and try the other side. All these people are giving us hard time. So let me switch. Okay. Okay, so let me try this again from here. So as we're trying to get AB, all you guys have to do, you guys have to be playing the cash giveaway. Again, the short code is *799# hash. You send, just dial *799# hash and send. And you see that option number 11 for Freedom FM. When you see that option number 11 for Freedom FM, you send. And you see that option number 1. You see that number 1 if you are playing in US dollars, or you see that number 2 if you are playing in Liberian dollars and send. And you enter your mobile money password. That's all you have to do to play the catch a giveaway and be a lucky winner here tonight, walking away with $4,000 as the payout. So but the advantage is that the more you play, the better the chances are to win. Let's try AB from this end and see whether we can get him from this end. Let's see from here. Yeah, let's see from this side. All these. Okay, let's see. They want it's not now our problem. They want the GSM company is not a problem now. So yeah, so we're saying to you, once you okay, I'm still not getting the call to go through. I don't know. Okay, I'm not getting the call to go through. I'm not getting the call to go through at all. I think somebody say you have to restart the phone. Imagine the process is going to take me to restart the phone. Let me try this from here and see. So you just be playing the cash giveaway while we try to make this adjustment and get AB. It's important we have to talk to AB about the former president's visit to Brazzaville, and then we can move. Okay, I think AB is calling by yes. Okay, so we have Gossen on the line. Gossen, welcome. See, it's reconnecting. Well, I just see I get GSM company in the country. Yeah. Okay. Still reconnecting, folks. AB is trying to call me back for the internet. Okay. AB, are you there?
Yeah, let's talk with it. Never here bad. I'm not in the hotel. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was our network because I was dealing with the GSM companies.
No, man. Yeah, because the player error is gonna work for you see.
Okay, so you're live on Freedom Hard Talk. Let's welcome you firstly and just give us let's talk about the environment and the nature of the visit, the president's visit to Brazzaville.
Well, I understood from the president. Remember, the president had seen Ngoso as a father figure. Mm-hmm. Remember, back in 2021, he visited here and he had to come for the inauguration ceremony of His Excellency Denis Ngoso and Sasu Ngoso, but he's also back here, and I think for sure details of the meeting for which he's here, we may not know it, but one can clearly see that His Excellency Ngoso is so proud of His Excellency especially his first time taking over, and the form and manner in which his name is ringing when it comes to democracy, peaceful transfer of power, all those things. This is the first time he's seeing him, and these some of the things that could be at the center of these discussions. He's really appreciative of this is the longest time ever, from what I'm understanding from the protocol, Norafin Abon, that whenever the king, they never had lengthy time discussing, but for him really embrace the president. Since the dinner started, they are still indoors almost over hours. So you can see the camaraderie, the kind of thing. It's just like father and son. This man is very proud of and that's what we are sensing so far, Austin.
Are you saying to us that it's been since the arrival of Mr. President and then the ushering them into the ballroom for the dinner, they are still in their tete-a-tete?
The tete-a-tetes continue, especially they had a private tete-a-tete, at which time all were out, and only the two of them were locked indoors, and they had that for nearly 45 minutes. And after that, the dinner session is what they are into now, and this time they had to usher in two office or officials as well, so they are there. So it's almost like it's the no times business. No one cares about time and so forth. All you see here like this. So we are all waiting and until they can get out. But it's really, really the discussions keep going on and on and on and on. So one party does not want to allow the other party to leave.
Now, what does the euphoria look like, especially from the angle of the of other officials who were seen around the perimeter of where the two leaders were interacting, where they met? I mean, what did you see from the look of the faces of other officials of government from Brazzaville who accompanied the president? Did they look happy? Did they look excited? Did it look, was the environment extravagant or a more officially structured environment to receive a serious personality?
First of all, the arrival, it was very structured environment, especially the arrival itself. And we had a convoy already parked. In fact, the private jet that took off, and was an official private jet, was sent by the president of Congo for His Excellency, and so private jet was, and so no one should be able to mistake that. So to tell you how official it is, how dedicated to his heart, he really took this meeting, and he had to really make sure that everything was done. So the private jet people see on screen, that he had to personally send it, and to get President, we are here, and then taking off, and to Nigeria, where another jet will be sent by another person again, inviting him. So he's a kind of person whom people are willing to spend any and everything on. It doesn't matter. There should be no excuse that they ever want from him. So no matter what it is, they are able to do anything to make sure to have him in their comfort. And it was quite an exciting occasion, especially the arrival. You see all the officials. It's very tight. And in fact, I think he had to suspend some of his business here today because President Weir is here, because what we understood from security guys is that time like this, you see pouring in of other officials or dignitaries to come and meet them. But this time, exclusively, he thought of the day, and he described his son, whom he's certainly proud of, especially on in politics as well. So it's quite a unique occasion, and everyone here very happy. And as you can see, the euphoria out there, they all seen it, and it's quite an exciting occasion for some of them. But the officials are still around. Most of the officials, they haven't gone home yet. They are still waiting to see what comes out of this before they go home. So it's a long day.
I know. Normally, as a member of
him, and so it's a long day. They are here. But Austin, before we go,
I hope AB does not leave. His network is terrible there. So let's be patient and see. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
You are saying before you pick up. Before you leave, yeah, you are saying something, but we got interrupted.
Oh, you didn't get that part?
No, I didn't get that part.
Well, I said before we could even pick off, and to really come here, he had to send his private jet, and for His Excellency, that is what we came with. Did you get that part?
Okay, I got that part. Okay, now I got that part.
You got that part?
Yes, I got that part.
Yeah, sorry, the network keeps fluctuating.
Yes, we'll manage because of the nature of the visit. We'll manage with the terrible condition of the network. Our audience will exercise patience, understanding the terrible nature of the network. But I was about to ask you, about possible eavesdrops you're hearing, even though normally as a member of the presidency, you wouldn't want to rush into speculating or assuming what may be or what could be the outcome. But I'm sure there are other positive expectations that some of you around the president are having or expecting from the outcome of the visit and all of that, whether it is collaboration on democracy or political governance and all of that. As a political leader of an opposition political party, maybe they want to collaborate in strengthening democracy between other African countries as an ambassador at the ambassadorial level, or whatever the case is. What could possibly be a major outcome?
I think it's nothing about it, because I think Ngozo is aware that a new president is in Liberia, and of course whatever it is has to do with our national talks in terms of bilateral relations and things, more will be concentrated toward current administration. But I think it's rather like still telling, and of course this former president, indeed we still have stronger ties, no matter what it is. You are somebody I see as a son. You really impressed me on the field, and of course in politics as well, in the peaceful transfer of power and all of that. Those could be at the center of it, but one could clearly tell that we are notably a state noted and respected on the continent of Africa, wherever he goes. So that's the major thing about this meeting. Again, when he leaves from there, we'll try to chat to hear from him as to why it is, if he ever will. But the fact of the matter is that could be the center of these discussions. And
Now,
for one to, in fact, there were.
Yes, so I was sorry for the interruption, but there was a side attraction upon the arrival of the president when he was disembarking the private jet. I saw the protocol officer interacting with Mr. President and requesting a picture on behalf of another fellow. Do you have any detail concerning that?
Oh yeah, in fact, when the president just came down, it was not a protocol officer. That's one of the flight attendants, and who, when immediately the president came down, she had to say, "Oh, this guy is really craving to take a photo with you," and he just, okay, let him do quick, and he passed by. Yeah, that was it, and yeah, because he too, I guess, he just wanted a photo section with the president, and he just passed by.
What's about? And we're told that he's going to pick up or take off from Brazzaville to Abuja or Lagos.
Yeah, he's supposed to pick up from here and then go to Lagos, and he will be going to Lagos for a church, for dedication. There is a dedication that is supposed to be here. And in fact, somebody is already playing one of his colleagues, one of his teammates, and he will just have the occasion. But the meeting is about having a dedication upon the invitation of Primate Adoyi, the man who stated the prophecy and so forth. Yeah.
Okay.
And he wants to see. Yeah. So he extended an invitation because he's dedicating a very big church that he's built. He's a component of that church is going to be dedicated in the name of the former president. So I think he's going to make that trip as well.
Okay, Abi, it was actually a pleasure having you talking to us tonight, spending over 10 minutes of your time in this on this terrible network to talk to us and communicate to the people. Yeah, but trust me, we're going to keep in touch with you for additional information when necessary. We'll stay here up to 10 o'clock just in case.
Okay, yeah, sure. The moment we get in good network era, we even reach back to you.
Okay, Abraham Gosson, William Alas, Teacher Light. There, our colleague providing us update of the president's visit to the Republic of Congo. So I'm sure you got the details. So as more developments review itself, we will definitely update you. Normally when these gatherings when these meetings are held, at times there can be maybe a press hour or allowing the two presidents to talk or greet to talk to the media and all of that, providing update on a need to know basis what the conversation was about, what the discussions were about, what may have motivated the invite of His Excellency, the former president of our country, and all of that. I will talk to you after the show, bro. And so that's it. Like said, we'll follow that from Brazzaville to Lagos again for to participate in the dedication of a church, which portion of that church is going to be named in the honor of His Excellency, the former president, George Manuel Weah, there in Lagos, Nigeria. That's it. You need to know for now. Now, folks, on today, let's move on to the politics now. But before we do that, let's announce to you again that we'll not interrupt. We are not going to interrupt our conversation to do cash giveaway. All we are going to do is announce to you to keep playing the cash giveaway, because when we come back, we are going to draw winners and just pay all the winners, and then we go to the telephone lines and pick our calls. So we will be announcing that you keep playing the cash giveaway while we are talking. At the close of our conversation, we go to the phone, do the draws, call all of you to confirm that you receive your monies, and then we pick our calls and go back to Broadview to have our rest. That's the shape. That's the new size of the show. That's how we're going to do cash away these days on the show. So that's *799#. You send. You select option number 11 for Freedom FM and send. And you select option number 1 if you want to play in US dollars, or you select option number 2 if you want to play in Liberian dollars. Whichever option you select, you send and you enter your mobile money password. Now, on today, the LSCC, after the LSCC invited Rostad in Dennis, I'm going to run over this. Something happened. And what she did was that, oh man, the people football team here. What she did was that she visited the LSCC with her official vehicle. She visited the LSCC with her official vehicle. The vehicle that was purchased, the vehicle that is at the center of the investigation. So I go say, let me run my official vehicle and go there. Yeah, I go here what thing LSCC wants to say. So she drove her official vehicle and went there to hear what thing LSCC wants to say. And LSCC put to her what they wanted to say until she drove in this very vehicle and went home. But let me say this, folks. Mr. Bwaka, who is the president of our country, if not careful, is going to be the most disrespected president in our country. From the governance standpoint, I'm not saying from the political standpoint, I'm saying from the governance standpoint. It's the small, tiny international connection that he has between Sierra Leone and Ghana is going to lose all if he's not careful. Even the tiny connection that he had in the White House with that he praying friend, that he praying female friend, and all of that, he's going to lose that. And there's a reason why that's going to happen. You see, a lot of us in this country, I shouldn't put myself there because I'm not government official. That means a lot of our public officials, our officials in this country, they are not respecters of our laws. They do not have any zest to fight corruption. They find pleasure in disrespecting the rules and violating our laws to appease their personal aggrandizement. And this has led this country to where it is today. It is because of the laws, even though as fake as it was, as untrue as it was, today the UP folks have been elected to govern or preside over the country. Rosalind Swankwo Dennis is a former lawmaker. Not just a former lawmaker, but she is a lawyer. She recently sat the bar test and passed it. The Supreme Court now passed it and became a counselor at law. So she understands when somebody talks about breaching procurement protocols or procurement laws. She knows what procurement laws are. She knows what the laws say, the do's and don'ts. She knows what it is when a president issues a suspension order. She knows what it is when a president says pack or turn over all government assets. She knows as a lawyer, she knows what asset means. She knows what assets represent. When they add government to it, she knows what government assets represent. As a lawyer, she's aware of how the vehicle she rode today to go to the LCC, she knows how that vehicle was purchased. She knows how that vehicle was delivered. As a lawyer, a former representative, she's also aware that this government has a fleet management policy. She's also aware as a lawyer and a former representative of the responsibility of the GSA. So she does not have any justification outside of her display of arrogance and rudeness or disrespectful behavior to the presidency. Forget about Joe Biden. He occupies an office. That office is supposed to be highly respected. But again, they say when you put yourself in tomato cup, they will dish you a broomstick. That happened to Joe Biden. From the day Biden started violating the laws of our country by removing people on tenure jobs and indicting people and settling the same people he indicted and chasing the speaker illegally outside of Capitol building and all of that. And arm twisting the judges and sending police to barricade a court as political prisoners were being tried, and armed police officers barricading the court with Moravia Central Prison pickup available to take them to South Beach when a case is being adjudicated. All of those violations from the day Baka chief or Baka legal advisor took telephone and called a city solicitor telling him or instructing him to drop a case involving two private citizens. From that day, Baka started disrespecting and violating all of our laws. That was the beginning of Baka's respect. And I am standing here tonight in support of Rostodin Swakogo Dennis's action. Her action to disrespect Joseph Baka's instruction or order, and in support of that. Because Rostodin Dennis believes that Joe Baka is selective in the fight against corruption. He is selective in his actions that are being taken against those who are accused or alleged to be corrupt. Rostodin Swakogo Dennis is angry and being disrespectful against Joe Baka because she's aware that there is a corruption case within the first lady's office and nothing has happened to anybody who was accused and even admitted to wrongdoing in the president's office. Rostodin Swakogo Dennis is aware that there is a Nicotech scholarship scheme that was fake. Liberians were duped. The case was reported. Nothing came out of it, and those who participated in that fake scholarship scheme are still occupying the jobs and nothing has happened. Rostodin Swakogo Dennis is aware that at LTA, the legitimate chairman of the Board of Commissioners, along with other commissioners, were illegally removed from their jobs, replaced with 5 other commissioners, all from Lofa County, and the acting commissioner is also accused and entrapped in a web of corruption on the record, and that Baka has refused to take action against Abdullah Kamara. Rostodin Swakogo Dennis is aware that at the Ministry of Finance, a deputy minister is into corruption work on the record of illegally intentionally ignoring the procurement protocols and the procurement laws by altering a procurement contract that was legitimately signed by the government. He altered the contract to increase the amount for the purchase of a bus for the Ministry of Finance against the advice and the laws of the former procurement director and the procurement team. Nothing happened to him. Rosalind Swankoko Dennis is aware that this same deputy minister who authored a procurement contract and nothing happened also awarded a painting contract to his family members and friends and relatives to paint the Ministry of Finance outside the PPCC requirement against the code of conduct. And nothing happened to Myers, to Jones. And nothing happened to him. Nothing, no suspension, no investigation, no administrative action taken against him. Rosalind Swankoko Dennis is aware. So she said, you know what, myself going still do, and no action will be taken against me. That's why she said she will not koto in your poll. And when she posted, and she said she will not koto in your poll. So that's why she said that. That's why she said she is riding Chinese car because Noka has not started exploration. But when Noka starts exploration, what she said she will do, she said she will ride jet, private jet. Eh? So she was making mockery of herself, thinking she's making mockery of the public. But who motivated her? Joe Barker. Joe Barker motivated her. All around the executive, most of the ministries and agencies have corruption issues. Joe Barker said, I will not do anything. I will not take any action. So Swankoko didn't go to steal. And she make mockery and insult people. Then you subject her to an investigation. You suspend her and subject her to an investigation. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a justification for Swankoko to go steal our money or be rude. But they said as a leader takes the lead. A leader should set example. Why are we still having Double Jala as head of the LRA when Amin Moda was made to resign his position for the same reason he and Double Jala were accused of? They said he and Double Jala took money from CDM to buy vehicles. It was confirmed, validated that he did take the vehicle. Double Jala rides his vehicle. Double Jala remains head of LRA. No administrative action, no suspension, no investigation, nothing. Now, let me say this. You see, good governance, they're not washing clothing. Where you go, you buy tar soap, you put a governance down, a governance dirty, you get mud on it, you put it down, you buy tar soap, put it in clean water and wash it. No. Your governance process becomes good when you start to take administrative and political actions that seek to clean the system and upgrade the system and change policies and laws regardless of who presides over that policy or that law for the good of the general citizenry. We want to see the rule of law working. We do not want to see Braga going to the court, going to the prison, and giving Gloria Mususka clemency because she is a partisan. And just after she's released, she is appointed as to chair the board of Noka. And that we are hearing that she's supposed to go to the Supreme Court bench or to go to the National Elections Commission. No, that's not good governance. And this one will transition us into our conversation tonight. That's not good governance. It cannot be good governance when you are announcing salary increment and in essence civil servants are complaining that their salaries are not being increased. You can't be lying. That's not good governance. You can't be having people in the system who are violating all of our procurement laws. No actions are being taken against them, and you say you are promoting good governance. You can't do so. Good governance does not mean go and support a majority bloc that has decided to illegally remove a speaker that was legally, constitutionally elected. Good governance does not mean when the Supreme Court rule or opine or issue an opinion, then you take it to your justice minister to issue a parallel or counter opinion, and you take your justice minister's opinion over the Supreme Court opinion in the interpretation of a law or an action. That's not good rule of law. Because when the court system are compromised or believed to be compromised, It means your entire, because the pillar of good governance is the rule of law. Once the laws are not working, it means your entire government has crumbled. It cannot function effectively. Listen to Gloria Musu-Scott, her own self. She admitted that the system, the entire country is divided on every aspect, in every aspect. She said the courts, the judiciary is divided, the legislature is divided, the executive is divided, there is no peace, and everywhere, every sector and fabric of the society is divided. The very Gloria Musu-Scott is admitting, but old man Joe will not listen. He will not listen. And he has a bunch of thieves and criminals sitting in his office who are also there hiding information from him, thinking they are doing him good or doing the country good. You take certain people, misbehavior or financial malpractices, and take it to the president's desk. Other people who are engaged in the financial malpractices, you don't take their news or their information to the president's desk. You decide which corruption news gets to his desk and which one does not get there. And you all think you're promoting good governance or you're encouraging good governance. See where we are today, folks. Let's transition. I said to you as we're talking, play the cash giveaway, because we will not interrupt our political discussion to give our money. We will give you money. 15 minutes around 9:45, we'll start giving you money. So we'll have our conversation up to 9:45, and at 9:45 we pause to give you money and take calls. Okay, so all you have to do, dial *799#. Once you dial *799#, you send, and then you wait for a few seconds. You enter your mobile money. You enter number 11 for Freedom FM and send, and you see that option number 1 if you want to play in US dollars, or you see that option number 2 if you want to play in Liberian dollars and send, and you enter your mobile money password. So that's it. And 9:45 will come, look at our dashboard, and pay you out $4,000 each. For those of you who want to do the job, your number pops up. We pay you $4,000, and then we take calls and go home. Now, on today, I want to read this verbatim so you all can see what's happening with your country. Donald Trump says he's saving money. He's not paying people money. Countries that do not have any use, countries that have not shown any financial discipline, and all of that. He said he's not paying money to them, lose money. So on today, the people say that, they say, we're cutting $17 million a year for tax. Okay. Yeah. So when Donald Trump got inaugurated as president, the first thing, one of the first actions he took, one of the first individuals he appointed was Elon Musk. He appointed him as head of the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, it is believed that he posted that Elon Musk is a friend to Joe Barker. So he's announced that, among many other things, the Department of Government Efficiency today canceled a $17 million project to provide tax policy advice to Liberia. Why would anyone think that this is a good use of your tax money? So he's asking those in America, why should Americans think? Why should Democrats think? Why should Republicans think that paying 17 million of American people money to Liberia just to provide advice, tax policy advice to Liberia? They believe that it is a waste of the American people's money to take 17 million of American taxpayers' money and pay it to Liberia or send to Liberia for tax advice. They believe it's waste, so they cancel it. Now, not just that they cancel that, our government is also telling us, as she's begging you and reliant on donor money, on begging. These are some of the actions that our government have been able to ignore, and they've been able to take. There are some of you who may not know that the government has increased tax, and this is confirmed. Go to the LRA and talk to the folks at the Ministry of Finance. They will tell you that your government has increased tax from 10% to 12%. Not just that, your government is proposing a 15% tax increment by 2026. By 2026, your government is saying your taxes you'll be paying will be 15%. That's what your government is proposing. They are refusing to even come out to talk to you. And these are just few things I'm going to say tonight on your tax issue and your whole financial management thing you're doing, because I know the government is on play. Every time I see we sit there and allow Harvard, so-called, quote-unquote, Harvard experts to come here and lie to us. And every time they do this, they throw us backwards. They send up way beyond with their Harvard expertise. Ignoring and use the Harvard expertise they bring here. They forget, they take it, they use Western economies. They use Western economy or Western economic outlook or environment and what is workable there, and come here to introduce it here and compel us to do it by announcing donor support or donor funding, and tie our performance or our decision to agree to those rigorous tax regime that they want us to sign onto before they release the money. So they say increase your one. They say gravitate from personal. Not personal. Oh, this distraction. Graduate from GST to VAT. So they say by 2026, Liberia should graduate from goods and services tax to value added tax. That's what they're proposing for Liberia. And the proposal comes with the way it works in other countries like Ghana, Nigeria. Now, forgetting to know that Ghana and Nigeria are producing over 70 to 85% of what they eat. So for VAT to work in those countries, places local producers at the advantage point, because those countries will be exporting less and producing more locally and consuming them locally. So if the government is paying 15% to manufacturers or 12% to manufacturers, the money stays in the country. If they're paying 10% or reimbursing exporters, it means the government will be paying less, because now there are not plenty of people exporting from Ghana or Nigeria. They import more. They run an import and a local economy, domesticized economy. So you have those government paying less on the people on exports. For us in this country, we will be paying more on exports because we are exporting everything and everything other people want, and we are importing everything we eat. And experts have advanced, Liberian tree have advanced our government says no, we can't run into this now at this point. Running into this will place us at a disadvantage point. They say no. The experts continue to tell them, say, hey, this thing you're bringing here, it's not workable for us. They say, for example, if they say, for example, GST, right? Goods and service tax, like the value added tax. They say, first, let's understand that This is a consumer tax. But registered persons or registered companies cannot claim a refund. You cannot claim a refund on GST. They cannot claim. So let, for example, if I am a registered company, I cannot go to the government to claim refund. You gotta pay taxes on goods and services. I don't claim refund. But they're saying the VAT, under the VAT regime, registered persons and companies can claim refund. So claiming refund will mean that the government will have to pay them on manufacturers and exportation. So the mechanism is for to have them or to see them deduct the VAT and pay from VAT charge on their sales invoices. If I go to bar, I take my invoice and bring it to the government, to LRA, LRA pay me. They say if, for example, if VAT pays on purchase, if VAT is to pay on purchase expenses, take all your invoice and pay on purchase expenses, it's more than VAT charge on sales invoice, meaning your output. But that, the LRA must refund the difference. Now, let's just sit down and think about the companies that sell abroad. Let's just sit down and imagine the companies that sell abroad. Mita Steel, Firestone, Manopam, or Former Sendabi. Let's sit down and imagine those companies are selling abroad. Now, the export sales are zero rated. Their export sales are zero rated. No rate, nothing on it. Nothing on it. But the non-resident customers don't pay. They don't pay labyrinth tax. The non-resident customers, they don't pay labyrinth taxes. What this means is that there will be no output value added tax to deduct import value added tax from. Meaning nothing going out, so you cannot be able to deduct what is coming in. But those who they are receiving our export, they are not paying to Liberians here. They're not paying here taxes. So we will have nothing to receive in taxes. But that all input VAT is reimbursable. So what's going to happen now? The simpler way is that they're going to put it that LRA will be required to reimburse 15% of in the country annual cost of those companies. So we'll be paying those companies, reimbursing them 15% on their export. Now, also what LRA is refusing to tell you is the government of Liberia must be able to tell you the one is that GST has increased from 10 to 12%. They must say, they've not told you that. They need to also tell you that the value added tax is going to replace the GST at 2026. They also need to tell you that the rate, the VAT, the value added tax rate is going to be at 15%. Meaning by 2026, we will be paying 15% in tax. They also need to tell you that registered persons or registered companies will not pay value added tax. They will not pay value added tax. Under the GST, registered companies or individuals are paying value added tax. Right? They're paying goods and services. When you go, you buy one bottle of water, you will see the LRA sticker on the way. You will pay to the government. You pay GST. When you go to buy water, you will pay to the government. You pay to the government. When you go to buy your beer, you LRA stamp on it, you pay for GST to the government. So what the government is telling you, they're making you to believe that we don't want your people, we don't want your paying to us. We want to pay your back. That's the impression they're giving you. Because GST, the consumer will be paying. When you go buy a bottle of water, you pay GST. When you go under the VAT system, the government will reimburse you. So the government is going to reimburse you. That's what they're making you believe. Oh, you will not be paying you. We don't want to be paying you. But they are increasing the rate. They are increasing the tax. So I mean, you'll be paying more and getting less. And the government will be making more at your expense. Not only that, they need to also tell you that all companies that will be exporting goods and services will be reimbursed their VAT. They will be reimbursed the VAT that they are going to pay on goods and services that they consume locally. So all these companies that are exporting your raw materials and things, all the money they're paying on goods and services, everything will be reimbursed. The government will pay them back. Sit down and imagine your government reimbursing Metasti for everything that she paid on goods and services to export your raw materials. Sit down, imagine your government paying 15% of what B Martin is exporting from your country. Just sit down and imagine that our government can be reimbursed. Metasi say we spend, B Martin say we spend 13 million to we spend 13 million to export. The government will pay B Martin 15% of 13 million. Metasi say we spend 5 million to export. Your government will pay Metasi 5% of that 5 million she spent to export your raw materials with nothing being manufactured here. Not only that nothing being manufactured here, but that they enjoy tax incentives. So we give them tax breaks, we give them tax incentives, they extract everything from here, they export them. Then we say the money that they are using to export, we will pay them 15% of that money they're using to export your gold, your iron ore, your diamond, your timber, your rubber, your everything. That's what the government is telling us we are going to transition to in 2026. You know what? You know how that's going to be good for you? It's going to be good for you because it would have been good for you and for us if we were manufacturing here. If we were manufacturing here, it would have been good for us. Because value-added tax affects a country that imports. A country that is importing everything. Value-added tax is not a good or an advisable tax regime for us to enter into. It's not a good tax program for us to enter into. It will be a good tax program for us to enter into if our economy was not was an export one. But we are importing everything, even the rest, our staple food to eat, we are importing. Everything. And we say we want to transition to VAT. I know it may sound a little bit technical for some of you who are following. That's why I'm trying to be I'm trying to be extremely simple or simplistic for you to understand, break it down for you to understand what we're trying to tell you. We are simply telling you that value-added tax outside of the goods and service tax. Where you go, you buy order is they put 1 cent on it, you pay. So a beer at $2, and you go buy your beer and they put 1 cent on it. They convert to the conversion and add 1 cent to the beer. Then they may sell the beer at the $2, 1 cent. Taxable tool and pay. That money goes to LRA. Right? As revenue. So you pay. The government said no. They don't want it like that. They want to be paying you. That's how they're making it to look like. Your purchasing power is low. So you're not going to get any significant reimbursement from the government. Your purchasing power is low. So you are not going to get any significant reimbursement from the government. Besides that, your government will lie to you because your government does not have the technological or sophistication to pay everybody that purchase, every consumer that purchase VAT to reimburse you. They don't have that capacity to pay. Because they're not going to use a manual system to do reimbursement. So they don't have that capacity. They don't have the technology. They don't have the sophistication. They don't have the software. They don't have anything yet to do it. So that technical capacity does not exist. Your country ain't getting. Besides that, they're telling you that all your iron ore and gold and rubber that Firestone and B Mountain and Midastin taking from in the country and exporting. They're telling you, say, under your new tax regime from the GST to the VAT, they're telling you that when those companies export your rubber, when they export your iron ore, when they export your gold, your diamond, when they export your rubber, your timber, the money that they will use to export your rubber and your timber and your gold and your diamond, they say that money that the companies will use to export those raw materials from your country, the government will pay them 15% of the total amount they spend to export your raw materials. So those of you in Cape Man, just sit down and imagine the quantity of gold that is leaving Kinjo. Those of you working with B Mountain, sit down and imagine the quantity of gold that those people are exporting. They say to you, when those people finish extracting your gold, destroying your land, destroying your country, destroying your soil, when they spend money to export your gold to Turkey or anywhere, the government is telling you that money that the Turkish will use to export your gold from your country, our government say we must pay them 15% of the money they will use to export. They say all the years that Firestone was here and extracting our raw, extracting and exporting our rubber from here and not many building at least a mini factory here, the government is telling you, no. In 2026, when Firestone export any rubber, the total money that Firestone will spend to export the rubber from Liberia, our government said we must agree for them to pay Firestone 15% of what they will spend to export your rubber. Our government is telling us that Mita Steel, the money, our iron ore, when you see the tonnage of iron ores that are being extracted from our country and exported to Europe and other places, our government saying the total money that Mita Steel will spend to export our iron ore from Liberia, from Grand Bassa. Those of you in Grand Bassa, Bon County, and Nima, just imagine this. Our country is telling you, when the people take your iron ore from Nima and Grand Bassa, from Nima to Bon County and to Grand Bassa to export, to ship them to Europe, our government said we must pay them 15% of the money that they will spend to ship our iron ore from here. Those of you in Bombing, that's the same thing they're saying. All those trucks you see leaving Bombing, coming to Broville, to Douala and Lokintown and to the pier. The government is saying those iron ores that are being extracted from Bombing County, that the people are even protesting that they're not even doing anything, they're not investing, they're not improving the place. They're saying when they extract those iron ores from Bombing and bring them to Monrovia, upload them in the ship, and ship them outside Liberia, they are still saying to us, our government, when they ship the iron ore from Bombing, we will pay them 15% every time they ship. Everything they spend, all the money they spend to ship the iron ore, our government is saying we must pay 15% back to Western Cluster on every export. So every time Western Cluster exports iron ore from this country, the total amount they spend to export the iron ore from this country, our government is saying, under our new tax regime, we must pay Western Cluster 15% of what she spent to export the iron ore. How does that benefit us as a country? These prices remain high. Basic goods and social services remain unavailable. The hospitals are dead empty with no medicine, nothing at all, no beds, nothing. We are short of medical doctors. We are short of specialist doctors. Our teachers are not equipped to the extent that they are supposed to provide quality education for our kids. We do not have enough primary and secondary school facilities in this country that are up to best standards that can be compared to countries like Ghana and Sierra Leone, Nigeria. Them. We do not have all of our major hospitals. We do not even have enough referral hospitals in our country. This is to talk about having specialized or specialty doctors to cater to critical or medical situations in our country. So we do not have anything to boast of. We are still struggling, depending on using money for more Ali to even help to expand water supply to the southeast. We are struggling with every basic needs. People do not even have access to shelter, even in the very facilities that our raw materials are being extracted and exported to Europe and other places. But then our government is saying to us, in the midst of these complicated or these complex situations or these complex environments, let's pay the people back 15% of every money they will spend every time they export your raw materials from your country. Value-added tax. They call it value-added tax, VAT. So there are small cents you're paying when you go buy a water, you go buy a beer, you go to a restaurant to eat, your the services people can, oh, do you want additional water? Do you goods and services? They providing the rendering you services. We're paying, so they call GST. People come and serve you. That service, we pay for it. You go to buy a food, you pay for the service. You go to purchase your car, you pay for GST. So the small money we're paying, those small cents and hundreds and things, the government say, let's scratch it out. What we do is we are going to transition into goods and service tax. Value-added tax. Say we should forget about the bigger picture. We pay peanuts to the few consumers who do not have purchasing power, and then we pay millions to the exporters, those who are extracting our raw materials, exploiting the soil, degrading the soil, and transporting our raw materials and not paying anything and enjoying tax incentives. Let's pay them 15% on every time they export our raw materials. The people in Kinjor who are not happy, the government say the reason why they are not happy, we must increase their unhappiness by paying B Martin 15% of every money she spent to export our gold. We must pay them 15% of that amount. Our government say we must pay Western Cluster 15% of every money she will spend to export our iron ore from Bombay. Our people, our government is telling us we must pay ArcelorMittal 15% of the total amount she will spend to export our ore from Nima. Our government is saying to us we must pay manual manufacturer for exporting. The total money. 15% of the total amount she will spend to export our palm between Cape Man and Bombay. Our government says to us we must go to Golden Variant and pay them 15% of the total money they will spend to export our palm oil from Liberia to other countries. We pay them for exporting our material. We are not paying them for growing, extracting our materials here and manufacturing them here and exporting and allowing us to be an export-driven economy. What we produce here and supply other people. The same way we are importing rice, our staple food. People depend on our palm oil, on our agro, on our ores, our diamonds, our gold. So why can't we establish a processing plant, separate rubber processing plant in the country, gold and diamond production and processing plant in Great Cape Man County that will provide wider employment for those in the Western region. Western Coast are the same way. You have two big companies extracting and exporting all your iron ores. Nothing is living here. And we pay them 15% of the total money. Now, here is the contract. Here is the one you need to hear before we go to the telephone lines, folks. What you need to know now is our people are so dumb-headed to the extent that the government does not have any sophistication or any system to know the quantity of the gold that is being extracted from Liberia and exported to Europe. Our government know. As a government say, how many tons of gold that are being extracted and exported from King John? Our government doesn't know. LRA does not know. They deprive LRA from having a window, just a window at B Mountain, just to be able to appraise the quantity and quality of gold and place tax on it. They say, no, LRA, you can't come here. Imagine foreign companies say LRA cannot have a window there to have access to the quantity, to be able to appraise of value, to be able to value the quantity and quality of gold that are being extracted from B Mountain. They say, no. We ourselves will extract the gold, ourselves will process it, clean it, and then we will tell you the value. Meaning they will come to LRA and declare. Say, oh, and for the period of January, we extracted 10 tons of gold. Then say, okay, the 10 tons represent that 5% on it. The total value of 10 tons of gold, that's 3 million. The 3 million, they pay 5%. That's all. So that's how it works. Now, we do not know the quantity of gold being extracted from B Mountain. LRA does not know the quantity of ore that is being extracted from Bombay County. They don't also know. Same applies to all these people in the extractive industry. They don't know. So they sit down and depend on those people to declare their value. When those companies declare, meaning those companies tell you what they want to tell you. Now, when you introduce value-added tax system, what it's going to do is those people are going to be declaring huge sum of money because they want the government to pay them exorbitant amount. So if those people were not declaring now, B Mountain now come start telling you, say, we spend 10 million to export. Government will pay 15% of 10 million. It means the government will pay 15% of $10 million to B Mountain alone. When you see people at earmarks there and the US getting vexed and canceling 17 million deed to Liberia on tax advice for tax policy advice, these are some of the reasons because they believe that our officials are not thinking right and they are not serious people. Why would America be paying you 17 million to advise you on your tax regime and your tax policy and all of that to develop a decent and workable tax policy for you that will see you raise revenue or expand your revenue capacity? They post spending 17 million to see you expand your revenue capacity. Then we Liberian people, we're sitting here and telling the extractive industry people, say, let's graduate from goods and service that's supposed to see B Mountain and Mitasti them paying plenty of money to us in taxes. We said, no, we not want it. Let's go to VAT. In VAT, we will be paying you. So we want to pay the people 50% of what they will take from our country. And then we run to America for 17 million to come advise us on tax policy. Does that make sense to anybody? Is that making sense to anybody that we are agreeing to pay 15% to people who are taking our resources, our raw materials from our country, and then we go to America to beg for 17 million to come here and advise us on tax policy? What kind of tax policy do we have? We are saying by 2026, next year, we will transition from goods and service tax to what? To VAT. Instead of gravitating to a tax regime that will see you raise or expand your revenue capacity, you are telling and cost you less to expand your revenue capacity. We are saying to our people and our partners who we are begging for money, say, hey, we are transitioning to a tax regime that will see us pay exporters. That will see us pay people who are extracting our raw materials, investing nothing in the country, and exporting to the West, and we pay them 15% on every export. 15%, the total value of the export. So if all these companies export in January. One person come with 10 million bill, and another person come with 5 million, and another person come with 2 million. We pay them 5% for each. The total amount they spend to export. Somebody thinking, nobody will tell me that this makes sense for a country like Liberia that is struggling. Do you know who pay back? Reimbursable. Do you know which country? What kind of economy that is supposed to engage into reimbursable? What do you get before you go reimbursed? What kind of serious human being or serious financial expert will be advising a country to be reimbursing? Instead of collecting and expanding your revenue, you are advising the country to start reimbursing people money. So all in Liberia, the government said they want to start reimbursing. When we go buy in the supermarket, we take our receipt to the go to LRA, they reimburse us. That's what the post saying you. When we go buy our thing here, we take it to LRA or the nearest LRA agent. We having booths in Ghana. They got the booths in Ghana or Nigeria. They got the booths all around, so you can buy. If you need buying, you take your ticket there, your receipt, your invoice. You take your receipt there. They go look at the value of your receipt. They pay they reimburse you. Your government puts that they won't start doing in 2026. They won't start paying us. But in essence, they will be gaining more from us and paying more to the bigger companies. How can you pay more to the bigger companies that are stealing from us and you pay us less? How many times do we go to supermarkets to buy? How many times do we go to supermarkets to buy? How many times do we go to boutiques to buy? So it means NIA will not be paying us because you know why? You know how it works? Now, let me use the term and tell you how this whole VAT works in terms of repayment or reimbursement. NRA is acting smart. The way the reimbursement works is it works with invoice receipt. Now, in all the countries that I have been to, for example, let's use Ghana and Togo, and when you go to bar, they put in your purchase order and then they print your receipt. They give it to you. When they give you your receipt, you go to the nearest booth and the nearest VAT booth or agent, you show your receipt, then they pay you. They reimburse you on your based on the percentage. They reimburse you. Now, in Liberia, those countries the systems are built for them. So you have the agent, the VAT booths all around, accessible. In Liberia, we do not even have LRA substations all around in our country. In most rather that one place you go, some places you go, most of the places you see LRA booths that they are at government agencies, government entities. So you mean LRA has to establish VAT booths at the different supermarkets, the different shopping malls, the different marketplaces. But guess what? They don't have the capacity to establish VAT booths at the different supermarkets, different shopping malls, and everything that want to. We do not have a receipt system, a good receipt system in our country. How many places do you go to buy and they issue receipt? So everybody who go and buy back, your rest per cup. You go dollar market to buy, it means government will not pay you rack because no receipt. So all the bigger markets, you go there and buy that free. That's what they call registered companies or registered persons. So when you go to buy to dry market, you're not part of that whole VAT thing. Even though the system, the tax regime we're using is VAT, 100% VAT, but the citizens are not recorded in the system. So the people who go to buy that rest by cup, people who go to buy that oil by bottle and thing, they'll both spend that money free. The government making revenue for you. They pay you. You paying them. You see that? You get the point? You will be paying, but they will not be paying you because there is no receipt system. And Liberia cannot use 1 year to gravitate into an economy that is 100% receipt system. That will not get that capacity. Talk to any tax expert. Liberia does not have that capacity in 1 year to gravitate your economy to a full-fledged receipt system where everything you go to buy will issue you receipt for you to go to LRA or the VAT agent or VAT booth and get your reimbursable. We don't get that capacity. And we can build that capacity in 1 year to move into VAT in 2026. So it means there's ordinary consumers will be losing, and then the bigger companies who have the bigger monies, who are supposed to be spending the bigger monies in our economy, they will be benefiting. Because when I go to Imakobo, to Mankemasha, or to Tanesham, or to Africa Road, Tane not going to get me receipt for my food. No. If I go to Mamus to Dream and Lagos, Mamus not going to get me receipt for my store. Or if I go to Kolusmo to buy my kanya from her, Kolusmo ain't going to get me receipt for the kanya I'm going to buy from her. So it means that free, I go and buy I get nothing from the government. The government does not pay me anything. But if B Martin goes and man your goal and shape your goal, the money B Martin spends to shape your goal, our government said they will pay B Martin 15% of what you spend to shape your goal. So all of us go buy our clothes, our trouser, our shoe, our face care, we go buy our water, you go eat your kobo on UMI campus, or you go eat your kobo on AMU campus. All those services, the government is supposed to reimburse you for all those purchases. So you go to anywhere, you say, I want $200 food, I want 1 bottle of water, I want 1 bottle of beer. That kobo shack is supposed to be recorded, plugging in the receipt system that is already in LRA system. They plug everything when they finish. That kobo shall print all what you spend for that day on consumption or consumable. Then you take that receipt to the VAT agent. Then they pay you. And what country not get that system? So in essence, we the ordinary consumers will be losing. Then the big companies who are supposed to be paying taxes based on their revenue or based on their income will be benefiting, and we will not be benefiting. So we say we want a tax regime that will see low income earners pay less taxes, and then high income earners pay more taxes or higher taxes. So we want B Martin to not benefit. We can be paying B Martin money for exporting. They should be paying us for exporting. We can be paying them. We pay them for exporting our goods, 15% for exporting our raw materials. They do nothing here. They don't invest here. They don't improve anything here. Then we will go to the goldsmith shop to buy. When we buy, they don't give us receipt. We just sit down. But if we buy, the goldsmith shop give us receipt. We go to the VAT booth or agent. They reimburse us. If we build that system, then we say, okay, we don't get a problem with VAT. But the government does not want to build a system. The government does not have the capacity to build a system, and they will not build it in 6 years because they want to connive with the bigger companies and rob you, the ordinary people, and then they go back, the people can declare 5 million and say, okay, don't declare 5, declare 4. The balance 1 and pass it on the table. Then a record show 5. Then a record show 5. That's how they want to work. It's a whole scheme. It's fake. It's intended to rob you. So tonight we're telling you that entire VAT system, we will continue to talk about it. So we tell our government that we are not ready. When the day Liberia is ready for VAT, you will know. Because when you go to buy, they will give you your order. They will give you receipt. Flag receipt. When you go to the supermarket, you see the supermarket, the people can print your receipt and give it to you. As soon as you leave the supermarket, VAT agent or booth supposed to be around there. You carry your receipt. They pay you. In country like Ghana, when they see you with goods, they see you with goods, the VAT agents, general security people, they can even walk to you and ask you, what is in your plastic bag? They see you with plastic. The VAT agent reserves the right to walk to you and ask you, what is in your plastic bag? You are under obligation to show them what is in your bag. They take it on, look at it, and say, okay, can I see receipt for this? They want proof of purchase. They want proof of payment. So they ask, can I see your receipt, your VAT? You take out the VAT and show to them. They go through it and see, okay, carrot, you see carrot. Butter beer, you see butter beer. Sugar lump, 1 carton, you see, okay, they will even have to facilitate you to pay to get a reimbursement. But in Europe, for example, when they see you with plastic and they say, give me your plastic, can I see what's in your plastic? And you show your plastic, nothing is all your stuff, all your consumables are in the plastic, and they ask you for your VAT, and you don't have VAT receipt, you go into jail. That crime, you must show proof of everything you buy under a VAT tax regime. Under a VAT tax regime, you must show proof. So it means the law will not be effective in Liberia. Because we do not have that capacity to start telling them, show proof of purchase, because you know the system is not built. You're not going to see somebody with a potato green plastic. You say, give me your plastic, let me see, sir, show me proof of payment. That's it. Go back to Mandra and ask Mandra, and are you about the potato green phone? Mandra say, yeah, what will you do as a government? So the government is not ready for that thing. We tell you that thing you're introducing, you want to corrupt the ordinary people corrupt the ordinary people and see the bigger company, people benefiting the bigger share from our economy, from our extractive industry, will be paid millions of dollars by the Liberian government, and heads of entities, sectorial entities will benefit because they will cut these behind the scene. They will cut the people taxes and prepare their tax document, and the government officials get richer, Liberians get poorer, and the companies will benefit, the government officials will benefit, and the ordinary citizens will die from starvation and poverty because you will be left with nothing to even afford to buy a cup of rice. Let's see what we said. We're going to end this conversation by this time. So we'll end the conversation here, but we are going to continue our conversation now. We are going to continue. Every day we remind you, don't settle for VAT. Don't settle for VAT. It's a terrible, it's a bad economic tax regime. Don't settle for it. It's not going to help you. The low income earners, VAT is not for a country with low income earners. VAT works easily in a digital tax economy. It works well there. It works in a middle class economy. So you need a digital tax economy, a country with an economy with a strong middle class, because the ordinary people have purchase power. So it works there more. So the economy is digitized. Then the economy has a strong middle class system that got the capacity to buy, to purchase. Your country, Liberia doesn't have a middle class. Is it rich versus the poor or the poorer? No middle class. You get purchasing power. You say you're talking VAT. So you see what's going to happen? You lose, the government officials gain, and then the bigger companies, the industries benefit. So only two layers benefit. Tax policies, tax regimes are intended to benefit the ordinary people, not the half. Not the half. You can introduce a tax regime that will see maybe the government benefiting, the bigger companies benefiting, the rich people, the firms, the industries, those who are extracting and milking and robbing our resources, you see them benefiting. Then you, the ordinary people, you are benefiting nothing. That's not the essence of introducing tax regime or tax policy. So we have to work on that. We have to consider that. Let me see whether I can pay us a few of you some money, and then we can go. I told you to be playing your cash giveaway. So let me see. I think I can. Let me do one or two draws, and then we can go tonight. Yeah. Okay. So while we're talking, I think we have some people who have some people in a 1,000 category who were supposed to get paid $1,000 too. Just to tell them thank you for playing our cash giveaway and not giving up. Some of them have played and they have not won. And so, okay, I know. So let me see how it works here. Okay, 28, 22, 10. So let me talk to some of these people from this end and pay them some money, and then we'll go to the telephone lines and pick your calls on 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. This person is our first caller on the show tonight. Let's hear you. Okay, we lost this caller. Let me see whether the WhatsApp line is also active. Okay, so yes, all the numbers are active now. You can start placing your calls and we will talk to all of you. 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Those are the numbers to call and be a part of the show. Those of you in the diaspora, the WhatsApp number is also active on the +231 886 500 104. Hello, good evening to you. Let's hear you. Hello. How are you? Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so kindly. My name is Moses Besman. I'm Johnny from Europe.
Okay, Moses.
Yeah, you spoke eventually. I want to say thank you for educating my prayer on these things. I know what kind of fun doing here, brother. Sometimes I can sit by and be confused about this country. But thank you for your mind up on my Thank you.
You're most welcome. Let's talk to the diaspora number. Abi joining us from this end. Abi, go ahead.
Hey, Austin, good evening, my dear brother. Happy belated birthday, my dear brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I wish you many more years to come. Look, Austin, I just called to say one thing, man, concerning about this 17 million that was suspended by those, either my Baga have, it's Baga's best friend, so I don't think Liberia should worry. Yeah, I don't think Liberia should worry about that $17 million, and Baga will just call Elon Musk, it will be restored. So I don't think Liberia should worry.
Man, but you don't mean lava. Baga will just call Elon Musk.
Wait up, brother. Brother, you in our country, and Baga was in a car and was talking to the man on video, like best friend. You call him. They serious, brother. It will get real more, brother.
Thank you.
Have a belated birthday, brother.
Thank you. He said Baga will call a best friend. Baga will call a best friend. He call a best friend. I was saying, if you want me phone, all the paper there. Okay, so let's see. They were trying to talk to everybody tonight. Hello, good evening.
Yeah,
How are you, my brother?
I'm fine. Cool.
Okay, this is Austin Kawa from Freedom FM.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been playing our cash giveaway, but you've been unsuccessful.
Bro, and I play about 2 years, I win. I swear, they was there now. I play 3,000 and I win.
Sorry. So we're saying you $1,000 to say sorry for not winning, and just encourage you to keep playing. One day you will be a winner.
Me, I won't be a winner because I play about 3 years old. My better for give me in a car. I get money, I put on my singer playing. I get money, I put on my singer playing. I can't win.
I just say you $1,000. Check your phone to confirm.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Let's talk to this caller. Good evening to you. Please go ahead. Hello. Oh, this person ready. I'll take different call. Okay, go ahead. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening.
Let's hear you quickly.
I'm Kingston, and I'm from Bombing County, doing district.
From Bombing County, let's hear you, my brother. Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, you see, Liberia, we are very good at criticizing positive when it comes to the reality. The system talking about Liberia is capable of working it out, and it will be good for this country. So thank you for affording me the time.
Thank you very much. Next person, go ahead. Let's hear you. Oh, it call freezing. Too many calls coming. I didn't have to rest this line. See what I can take call from. They're not number because this one is freezing. Okay, let me take this WhatsApp call. They're fighting on all along. So let me Medicine, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, good evening to you. Let's hear you.
How you doing, Austin?
I'm okay.
You know, it is unfortunate that a leader of a country, Liberia, we speak about Liberian situation in America in such a way Waka did that is all over on the internet. The people that came here, they didn't come here willingly by themselves. They came through the Civil War. People that have conflict in their country, that sought refuge in America, the United States federal government granted them TPS, temporary protected status. That status was created under Bill Clinton time in the 90s. And every president that came to power in America, they renewed the people's status, they renewed the people's status. The senator that championed those poor cause to have stayed being here is one senior senator from Rhode Island, Jack Reed.
Well, and President Trump campaign on that policy, and President Baga is a friend to the Trump administration. So I don't know what is the issue.
So the issue here is that for him to have gone on the stage, standing talking about they should come home. The people that are already in Liberia, our fellow citizens that are living in Liberia, he doesn't have job for them. Even what they're supposed to do to earn their daily living, they can't get it. They can't meet anything. People are living just living hopeless life in Liberia. And people that are here are working, supporting families in Liberia, putting money into the Liberian economy. The money they send to their family, they import it into the economy. Also, they are even investing in Liberia.
If a president comes to power here and tries to send them back, and Waka is making such a statement, and some other people, I see, some other people campaign for Waka, they donated to Waka campaign.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the time we do not have enough time in our favor, so I thought you were just passing, having this conversation to pass through. Since it's not a main conversation we are having here tonight, we'll find time to talk about that thing tomorrow. I actually wanted to have that conversation, but this VAT thing was very important, But and then secondly, Oliver can spend a lot of time talking about that also today. So, but I understand the pain those Liberians in the US feel, and especially utterances coming from the president, somebody they consider an elder too. I know how unfortunate it is, but again, that's the system, that's the president we have. We have to work with him. We have to accept. Sorry, we have to accept what we have. We have to accept what we have, but continue to engage what we have and make sure we pressure him to get what we want. You get someone that they get and say, "Why you all of us is why you I don't know what you get. What you all of us is what you got." Something like that, eh? Yeah. So that braga, you get why you order 2023 versus why you got 2024. Nah, Joseph Braga there. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening to you. Oh, I know that me calling you.
I know.
You listening to the show, eh?
Oui.
Okay, what is the name?
Patricia Ta.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll call to congratulate you. I'm sure you have received your text. You are winning $4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations. Keep playing the cash giveaway. Let's see whether we can squeeze in 2 or 3 more calls on the show tonight, and then we can go home. We want to talk to. Let's see whether we can squeeze in 2 or 3 more calls, and then we can go home. Let me talk to this person before we take additional calls, and then we close the session and go home on the show tonight. So let's call this person on this 088. Let me take this call. Hello.
Hello,
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Gloria from New Georgia.
Oh, New Georgia. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm doing the silent listening always.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much for the show. It's getting more mature, more informative. Yeah, I'm enjoying the show. And I share with you what you said about rustling, I don't know, Swakuku.
Yeah.
Just what you said is right. That's what I think too. And I have that same thinking you have concerning what you just said. Because if you have a government that ended behavior is clearly spoken about corruption, and then you want to subject people to be what? Somebody did saw rustling going to the LACC today. They said there were placards out saying no selective justice. I think some kids have a placard up.
Yeah.
You see? So you don't come like that. You have it right in your office. You have briefly there that nothing has been done. And then you want to be serious with other people. It doesn't work. It makes people sad. It makes us sad. That it makes us feel that the country is going nowhere. Sure. It's so sad. I'm thanking you so much. I'm enjoying the show. Dave, I think sometimes I decide not to just go because you are touching all the points we need to hear. Thank you for educating us tonight on the VAT and other stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight as well, and for always listening. She's one of our silent listeners. There are times she'll call and say, I call for all the IQ they want, I call for all to talk what they want. This is my observation about the show and this and blah 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 blah. So yes, those are with the different type of followers we have and listeners we have. So let's say thanks to all of you. I think we have to go home tonight. We've gone 2 minutes, or I should squeeze in 2 more calls. Yeah, I think so. I want to squeeze in 2 more calls. Maybe I can take one from the female line and one from the diaspora, and then we can go home. So that means squeeze this one in from here. This number, people, too many calls coming on this number, so it's freezing. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, John from St. Paul Bridge.
From St. Paul Bridge. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, my concern here is to listen to Armed Forces Days that are coming tomorrow. From time I was low myself in Liberia, we never see ammunition or we've gone to come from Sierra Leone with army to come in Liberia. Why Armed Forces Days tomorrow we see their kind of action?
So listen, the people say that speculation. Some people say that speculation they're not true. So you know what? We're doing the show tomorrow night. So we'll be here tomorrow night to talk about it. If it happens, we'll talk about it. If it not happen, then we'll believe it as speculation. Okay. Now why you can't say anything about it tonight, because since they say that speculation, then wait tomorrow after the program. We'll be here tomorrow night to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, so this but say, oh that you. So we'll wait, that you. Tomorrow we'll be here, see what that you and talk about it. Hello, good evening to you. You are our last caller.
May the name of the Lord be glorified, Brother Austin.
Amen.
I'm evangelist. I'm very, very much interested in your show. But there's no radio station. Listen, when you guys are not on the show, some of us will be bad to even listen to radio. Because you guys reflect the key issues that have to do with our nation, Liberia, and the stress that we bring through. So I'm going to guide you.
Amen.
May the Lord guide you and guide your entire household.
Amen.
May the peace and blessings you can.
Amen.
That's what I call you for. That's for prayer.
Amen. Thank you so much, evangelist. Thank you so much. We appreciate these prayers. These are prayers that are keeping us stronger, encouraged, and more motivated to engage. We said to you, that this platform during the campaign, during campaign periods, there are messages. Specialized messages, and there are special tones, and the languages during campaign period can be different from the post-campaign period. So the languages during the campaign period were different, and I think they were temporarily necessary because we're in a politically charged era. So the tuning, the messaging, the coining or selection of the different choice of words, everything will be different. After election, after inauguration, we're into the era of governance. And so we're going to focus on governance. So we can use the same tune we used during campaigning period to use them during governance period. So we're going to use the governance tune, the governance messaging, the governance choice of words to speak to the real issues now that are before us. And so that's what we're going to do. So let's go home. And let me say thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of you for following the show. As always, I encourage you and urging you to join us every night and invite others to join us and follow us as the discussion gets better and bigger and wider on the real governance issues now. No politics, but governance.
No one to trust. My people don't want.
Until we see tomorrow, by God's grace. My name is Austin Kawa. Do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. Good night.
With their rhetoric, people tire. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer.